Hey everyone, Strangers123 here, taking some dust off the computer and World of Warships and all. This is not a game I streamed. Been kind of at this point I've been kind of actually in and out of hospital, so I basically just came back and I was like, yeah, you know what, screw it. We've got like 5 stars to go from the rank stream that I closed off. So, yeah, let's just try to finish it off. If luck favors me, that's 5 games, and we're done. Famous last words, by the way. Yeah, I am, as you can see, playing with Arun, and I am immediately opening up a chat by going a little mockingly, hello, hello! This is Arun's typical greeting, just like, you know, pretty much everyone has their own. I pretty much just fired up OBS, started recording, went on to TS, and actually found him. I actually found him on TS, so I do have the original recording of that if you want to see that. Nothing really interesting happens, to be completely honest. Just normal discussions with Arun and me. I haven't gotten the chance to play with him for quite a while, so running into him by complete pure chance was actually quite a pleasant surprise. P.S. Arun starts playing F.D.Grosse after this game. Anyways, I do tell him, you know, if you want to meme this shit, put a smoke screen for me close enough to the middle cap. It'll help the Seattle out, it'll help me out, and, you know, tell him to tell the Seattle, since that'd be very useful to him to be able to get close enough to be able to just smoke blob. And of course, if the enemy sees a smoke screen approaching the single heal, which I'm certain the 3 destroyers are definitely going to be trying to contest, as I do get myself spotted, then, you know, I warn him of that. Overall, that definitely would be quite useful for us if we can just ward off the enemy's destroyers, and, you know, just putting a smoke screen here pretty much, you know, if you look at the matchmaking, you see, oh look, a Seattle, oh look, a black, we've got one Kronstadt, and he's currently advancing rapidly in the opposite direction. You know, it's not really, you don't want to push that as a destroyer. So the smoke screen's going up, our Seattle will be able to take advantage of that if needed. I'm contemplating not firing right now, since I am, after all, unspotted. Try to get up there, basically just make life as painful for the destroyers as possible. By this point, obviously, they would have seen me coming along. Everyone does get a double heal, so he can quite rapidly de-ass that area if needed. That definitely is quite useful for him. Apparently, he has RPF. I do get myself spotted. I inform the Seattle that I do, in fact, have Hydra on. If he hasn't used it by this point, perhaps he hasn't. You know, that'd be quite useful. But the Kitagaza that is on this side definitely does not have torpedoes, because he uses torpedo reload booster to launch them at the he launched them at the thing, perhaps anticipating we would make such a play. So good I guess you can say good chancing by the enemy Kitagaza. He launched them from really far away, by the way. He launched them from, he basically launched them from where the enemy F.D.Grosse, a little bit closer to where the F.D.Grosse is. That's the angle at which those torpedoes arrived from, so, you know, you gotta keep that in mind. Anyway, Seattle's in a good position to lock down the mid, and this game is already in very good shape for us. And then with Jutland pushing through down there, he's run into our Jutland and the Kitagaze, so they should be able to do some devastating damage to that. I'm just sailing along here broadside. I don't really mind too much. Lose a bit of HP, that's fine. I'm really just trying to get along to be able to support Arun if he needs it, although there is a big problem with what I'm doing. There's a good chance that I will be attracting torpedo attention. And of course my intention was always to just get in there and secondary stuff. That almost certainly, unless the Kitagaze opened fire, and I think it did, which meant Arun spotted him, but the Seattle could have caught that in radar range as well. We pick up a destroyer kill. It was the enemy's Jutland going down. Very important kill there, especially since our team barely took any damage whatsoever. Both Kitagazes show up in Arun's face, which is rather unfortunate for him. I'm shooting HE like the twat I am. Kitagaze decides he wants to smoke up, which is generally not the recommended play. You can see me make a really mediocre shot, only pick up 1 hit. But you generally don't want to do that against the black, because the black can at any given point just smoke up. Now, it's going to be slightly awkward for me, because they know I'm coming. I'm going to bleed a bit to the Kronstadt group, and there's not really much I can do about that. At this point, I really didn't want to make an intern here, because that does mean I have to deal with a second Kitagaze's torpedoes, so I'm really just going to have to... I really should have just made the full intern, but what I want to do is to get my ass out of here, turn around, because this is not really the optimal position you want to be in F.D.Grosse, especially considering overall the fact that the enemy's The enemies do have a fair portion of their fleet over there, and I'm gonna spend a lot of my time getting spotted over here. It's not really the situation you wanna be in. Trying to focus the lower HP Kitakata if possible, but you know, it's not gonna happen. Waiting for my camo to reset. These are very tempting shots. I would have taken that anyways. I would definitely stay spotted, but unfortunately no hits. But now I just really need to leave the area, turn around, try to get for the kill if possible. Everyone doesn't have a smoke screen yet, and he's actually lost a torpedo tube permanently, which is rather awkward for him. My secondaries at this angle will not be able to track, but we're dealing enough damage to the destroyers to suppress them, keep them away. That's really what's needed. That one actually does full damage, which is much to my surprise, but that's always a nice thing to have coming in. I am not really in an optimal position to either the F.D.Grosse or the Musashi at the moment, so really just a matter of trying to get away from this. The Sushi, even if he wants to shoot at me, that's really max range shots to him, so if it does any significant amounts of damage, that's just him getting insanely lucky. Crunchshot definitely could poke quite a few annoying holes in me right now, though. But definitely goal is to try to get for that heal, and that really is quite important. The Crunchshot gets an incredibly hard hit for that range. And I know that I'm giving a slight upskirt, so I just need to stop the rudder. I know I will definitely make it into the circle, and I also know that I'm getting far enough away, but the Crunchshot did get another shot off, and due to the F.D.Grosse getting really good dispersion there, I'm actually in danger of dying if he gets a good hit in, but he doesn't, so we live, we get the double heal. We can use a ship heal as well, just to boost the regen ability back into something that no longer is uncomfortable, but at this moment we've had an absolutely trash tier of a game. Kill off an enemy destroyer, did some damage to their Kitakadas. Remember, they don't have a heal at the moment, we do. At least I'm pretty sure the enemy team doesn't have a heal, so any damage I deal to them for the moment is going to be a rather sticking damage. And of course, the damage I took will slowly be regenerated back up to a point where I no longer need to care. So I'm happy. I'm not necessarily happy about throwing away that HP, but definitely no complaints about it, no real regrets about that either. Losing that HP is fine, I can always come back into the game. We did the damage we needed to, we've got the map control, we're getting pretty much every single boost on the map right now, we're just hogging everything for ourselves. Firing both my front turrets and my rear turrets, so to the grand surprise of absolutely nobody, none of those shells, you know, that from the back turret have a chance of hitting anything useful, other than the island, but, you know, shooting island chan really isn't in my best interests. That Kitakada is most likely going to find itself going down rather quickly. It then goes around the corner. That's the end of that Kitakada, which will put us 2 ships up. I'm turning my guns to aim for that just in case, but in hindsight, definitely was a waste. I could have gone for the secondary battery reload booster, but there's still like a minute left if I remember correctly at this point. And I did say secondary because I'm talking about my 40.6 centimeter secondary batteries at the end of the day. Last enemy destroyer goes down, so at this point I'm really just happy to sit here and spam secondaries at the Friedrich. He's quite unhappy about sitting there getting spammed, so he's going to displace out of the side. I'm going to flambo the island a little bit more, but you know, I get a few shells over, two hits at 4.1, so that's 1 full pen. I'm not going to complain about that at all. Might as well just press W, go in there, mash the forward button, and deal some more damage. So at this point, the game is pretty much over. We've got destroyers alive. We've got Missouri behind me. He's reasonably healthy. Seattle's having a bad day. Everyone can, you know, be annoying and merrily torp away at them. Our Kitakada can merrily go spam away. F.D.Grosse took a devastating hit, so I'm going to put my secondaries on the Kronstadt and attempt to finish out the F.D.Grosse on my own. Excuse me. But at this point, it's really just a matter of cleaning up the enemy team. I don't want to give too poor of an angle to the enemy F.D.Grosse, and at this point, you know, none of those go into the island. The aim's slightly high, and I do get the kill, which is very important. Only 1 over penetration, and 5 out of 8 hits, which is very good. Killshot does not want to tango with me at close range like this. My secondaries can deal quite a lot of damage, and he's about to take a torpedo. And, you know, Killshot's only got 25 millimeters of bow. Even then, it doesn't matter if he's got, as long as it's cruiser bow, I can lull pen it for a fair amount of damage. And I just need to make sure I angle against both the Kronstadt and the Sushi to not bleed too much damage. If Sukastat knows how to shoot my Citadel, he definitely could do some damage, but he doesn't know how to shoot my Citadel, so he doesn't do any significant amount of damage. Sushi is trying to poke holes in my ship, but that's not really a major problem. You can see I haven't even used a normal heal. That is aimed way too high, and he's going to be able to turn in, so it's going to achieve a grand total of not much. But my secondaries in the process do manage to get me a high caliber from having done absolutely jacked and total shit. So 100k damage broken, we're just going to press W, push through. everyone launches some rather interesting torpedoes behind me, because I don't want to turn that way. I definitely want to, because if I force myself towards the island, I'm either going to give him broadside, or if he's smart, he'll force me into the island and then just ram me. And obviously, he's got a lot more HP than me, and the ram would obviously benefit me quite a bit more. But I'm not about to give my ship away for nothing, so I definitely want to take the close pass against him. I'm going to turn towards his torpedoes, and I mean, I'm at this point no longer a threat of taking them. It's really just been a matter of trying to bait the sushi into turning rear turrets into a different direction. He decides to not even want to shoot at me. He could have actually citadeled me and killed me right there, but he doesn't manage to take the chance of that. And at this point, it really is just a matter of overfiring engines and blowing right past them. Unfortunately, my turrets on the replay haven't actually rendered what they're doing, so it's gonna look really weird what I do there, but reality is I did pre-turn them. So don't worry about that. Yeah, I do hope you guys enjoyed that replay cast. Let me see if I have the scoreboards. I'm not sure I even looked at them. They were definitely not interesting at all. Let's face it. Let me have a look. At this point, though, I was, after winning that, 1 star away from ranking out, so I really should have just kept my goddamn mouth shut, because, you know, if I didn't jinx myself, there probably is a good chance I could have gotten through. I do actually have the scoreboards, let's have a look at them. From the recordings, you can see 163,720 damage from 35,000 and almost dead. That definitely is nothing to scoff at. Managed to get a bit of that extra off the Musashi, but even then the secondary spewing away at the Sukastar did give me a little bonus there. 241 secondaries having done the grand total, though not much. Managed to pick up 2 kills. One of them being the Sushi in the end, finishing off in the close passing. You see here the gun turrets are aimed correctly, so you know it's just a replay derping. But yeah, 4 fires, not that many. Some of them were from my main battery HE spam. Sorry, 40.6 centimeter secondary main spam. And top of the scoreboard, rather quite surprisingly, but I did do a bit of damage to destroys, I suppose, plus a fair chunk of damage and a rather early high caliber coming in at like 90-something thousand damage. That's my high caliber, due to both teams having incredibly low amounts of HP. I mean, could be worse, could be 4 destroyers, a cruiser, and a battleship, or no battleship, which would be, well, I mean, obviously can't be no battleship if I'm in Affinity Dish, but, you know, could be 1 battleship, 1 cruiser, or 4 destroyers. I've seen games like that happen. Not so often, but I did do some damage to destroyers overall. So, yeah, let's see. Do I actually go click on the detailed reports? Do I? No, I just smashed the battle on button. Unfortunate. But yes, I do hope you guys enjoyed this. If you would like to watch the entirety of this game, give me a little shout in the comments and I'll just upload it as lazy content. Otherwise, take care. And I guess see you guys in the next 5 months, because that's the rate at which I upload videos on my YouTube channel. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. I know, very funny. Bye.